Alright, so in this video I'm gonna reassemble the Dreamcast controller, which I disassembled about a couple of days ago, and then retro brightened the controller. This is what the controller looks like now after retro brightening it. I don't know if this is the original color of the Dreamcast controller, but it cleaned it off. There was some serious yellowing on the controller, so it got it back to this, the way you see it now. I'm just gonna give you guys an example of what it looked like before. This is kind of like what it looked like. Probably worse, actually worse than this. This was very yellow on that controller I just did. There was yellowing all over this thing, and dirty as well. There's yellowing on top of here. The retro brightening works fantastic, and at some point I may make a video of my rig that I used to do it. So anyway, we'll start this up. So the reassembled Dreamcast controller, what I'm going to do first is put in the triggers in the circuit board. Start from the top there, and then just push this down. Click that into place. And these triggers are marked left and right, so I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. Yeah, you can see that. So that's left, the other one was right. So that's pretty straightforward. You don't have to guess where to put it. And also, this will be on the outside. So when you're putting the controller together, make sure that this little kind of weight thing, I think that's a weight, that's going to be on the outside. Next, I'll put in the stick. The stick is also straight, but I don't think there's a wrong way to put this, because that's where the holes are for the screws. And it takes 2 screws, so I'll put one in there. Get this other one in there too. Okay, it's not magnetized, so you get the sticks on that side, the directional stick on this side, the triggers on this side, regular stick there. Next, we're just gonna, this is for the VMUs. This just slides into place. Just like that. I'm gonna put this off to the side right now because I want to get these buttons on the front faceplate, front part of the controller. This is also pretty foolproof. Sega did a great job with these. In general, they did a great job, but just to take them apart and put them back together, really good job with these. And I'm sure, like many of you, I wish Sega was still making systems today. You know, they had the Saturn, before that the Genesis, which I think was called Neptune in Japan or something like that. I gotta look that up. But anyway, yeah, they had the Saturn, Dreamcast, obviously. It would be fantastic if they came out with like a new system. They can call it Mercury or something, Planet X. I don't know, Nairobi. But yeah, still living nostalgia. So that's for that. That's for the D-pad. This is going to be for the directional pad. I don't know if you saw that little piece that just fell out. That's goes in the middle. That's the second time that's happened to me. That'll just go right there for the D-pad. Make sure that's sitting flush. Now the start button. This rubber piece now. You can see some indentations there. They're like it's like a straight line that goes across. So there's no real way to put that on wrong because you just gotta follow that line, putting it accordingly. So now I'm just gonna put this part right on top of there. So that's just gonna go right on top. Now there's 2 screws that go there. Screws are black, I believe, so hopefully I'm doing that. Hopefully I got the right screws on there. Oh boy. Use my tweezers to get that in there properly. That's actually holding down the VMU thing, so the VMU holder thing, whatever you want to call it. All right. So after I retro brighted this, I made 2, if not 3, mistakes when putting this together. I'm sorry, before putting it together. So I did not rinse it with tap water. Big mistake there. I should have rinsed it out. The other mistake, I'm sorry. The other mistake was not letting it dry. I didn't wait for it to dry, so that was not a good idea either. So I believe these screws go in there. I'm gonna pause the video 1 second. All right, so just FYI, I paused the video and I had to reference my disassembly of this. So I put a screw initially in there, just like a second ago, and that's incorrect. So that screw actually goes on this side, in one of those. So put it in there. when I was doing it, I was like, oh, this doesn't feel right. So I went back to my disassembly video and realized that wasn't the correct placement for that screw. It was on the other side. And the other one's gonna go there. So please learn from my mistakes. Don't make the same mistakes that I do. Because that could have been, I don't know how bad that would have been, but it's not good, obviously. Something doesn't feel right. Trying to make sure everything is flush on here. All right, that feels pretty good. Okay, so these two screws are gonna go here. They'll hold down the VMU, this plastic VMU holder. Try this way. Oh, come on. That took longer than it should. Okay, so that's down. So the rest is just to close it up with the other part of the case. I don't think there's any more screws for this part. So I'm gonna put this part on here. Actually, before we do that, we gotta put the wire, huh? Yeah, that would make sense. I connect the cable. So I have a lot of cables here. I'm gonna pause the video and get everything in order. Okay, so just off camera a moment ago, I was trying to get these cables, this cable for this. But what I also did was I just cleaned it up real quick because I realized I didn't do any cleaning on the cable itself. So this is gonna go first. Let's put this in here. Then we'll put this. Is that as far as it goes? That looks like it, yeah. That's as far as that goes. Okay. I'll just put the real shell back on. I love how things just click into place like that. Anyway, after this, I'm actually gonna test it out just to make sure everything's working. But this is, see, again we go back to my mistake. not rinsing it and not letting it dry longer. I took this out last night, went to work, came back now, and it's still not dry. So I should have waited at least like a day to let it dry thoroughly. And obviously, I didn't rinse it after the hydrogen bath. So I think what may end up happening is these screws over time will, not even over time, but like pretty quickly will rust if there's hydrogen peroxide in. Okay, so then I gotta get a different screwdriver. So this just extends. I'll be able to get in there. Trying to look down there. Zoom in a little bit. And it's hard to see it. There we go. So that looks like it grabbed. And I hope I'm not stripping the screws. I'm gonna use this here a sec. I'm gonna come back to that one. That one's been very annoying. My setup for making these videos on YouTube and putting them up there is a very rudimentary. Basically, I have my iPhone hanging off the side of this side of a cabinet. It's just literally dangling off on the side there. I really don't have that much equipment to go on, but I'm hoping whoever watches this at least can maybe learn something from my mistakes and failures, and also just, you know, watching someone disassemble and assemble it. Okay, so that one finally caught. Okay. So that is complete. Now to test it out. We're gonna give this we're gonna go give this a try here. See how this functions. Alright, I'll pause the video and I'll come back to that. My next project on this Dreamcast will be to fix this issue, which is the battery on this system. I'm gonna have to replace the battery. Not actually replace the battery, but I'm gonna get it totally different battery and different mounting that where the battery goes onto the circuit board itself. So far, the directional pad works. Star button works. A works.
Your selection.
Alright, so now I'm going to try the directional stick and stop it. So it seems like everything's working on the control. Right and left triggers are also working. So it's
Speed up.
it was a good restoration for Dreamcast controller. Excellent. Alright guys, till next time.